after this event, the Kashmir is, I would say, it's quiet. Unless you really speak to people and they want to speak about things. So I thought I will just approach the transgender woman and she will start telling me everything so that I have something to begin with for filming. They would not talk to a man there. They wouldn't talk unless they know the person. If a person feels that he is a trans or she is a trans, she is a trans, you got to believe it. There's no like medical test and you can go. How do you pronounce your name?
Shreyatama.
Shreyatama.
हाँ.
Shreyatama.
Shreyo.
Shreyatama.
Tama. हाँ.
Shreyatama.
Welcome to Dialogues from Backstage. We have with us S.A. Hanan, from the director of the long documentary film Trans Kashmir. This film has been co-directed with Surbhi Dewan, who could not make it to the festival. We would like to begin this conversation with your experience here in the festival. Because this is the first time you've come to Kolkata as well.
Yeah, like I felt great here in the festival, and the films I saw, really thought-provoking films I saw. Though I couldn't see all the films because it was my first time in Kolkata also.
Oh, okay.
So I needed to go around the city and have a look around. But I watched most of the films, very thought-provoking films. I didn't know about this festival before.
Oh, okay.
It was my co-director Surbhi Dewan, and though initially, though I was interested in coming to Calcutta because it was my first time, she suggested first that she might not be able to come to Calcutta. I should go. So I had my tickets done a month back. So I was very
excited?
Serious and excited.
We had screened Surbhi's previous film.
Yeah, that's what she told me earlier. Yeah.
Thin Blue Wall.
She had a very good experience here. We talked about that.
Yeah.
It was Thin, yeah?
Thin Blue Wall.
Thin Blue Wall. The film she had done with the Pakistani filmmaker, another filmmaker? No, that you don't know. Okay.
Yeah. Okay, so you've come all the way from Kashmir. Thank you so much for that. But can you talk a little bit about how the situation is, there right now?
Yeah, it's quite. You really cannot make out what this quietness is about, but it's quite.
No one's speaking?
Yeah, no one is speaking. No one is. I don't know what does that mean, but yeah, it's quite. And the thing is, I don't know where from people get the news about Kashmir, because when I was here, I went to see my friend at what's that college called? St. Xavier's. Yeah. I went there. A very good friend of mine. So we met one of his colleagues. He told me an interesting story. He said, he first asked me, so how is it Kashmir now? I said, Kashmir is quiet. It's okay. We are living there. Then he said, how are the things after 370 abrogation? What are people saying? I said, I don't know about the people. I can speak for myself. It was just an informal chat. So then this person started talking with my friend who was there, and in Bengali, but I could make out what they were saying. The guy was saying, my friend's colleague was saying that it's not the exact translation, but I could make out what he was saying. And then I asked him, is this what you said? He said yes. He said, you know what, the people from the other side of the Kashmir, they now want to join this side of the Kashmir after abrogation of 370. I said, when I asked the guy, is this what you're saying? He said, yes. I said, how do you know? Because I live there, I don't know. Maybe, and I don't have interaction with anybody else, so I could know. But what I want to say, these are media created
Rumors.
narratives,
Yeah.
rumors people easily believe because otherwise, after this event, the Kashmir is, I would say, it's quiet. Unless you really speak to people and they want to speak about things.
How did you
You
manage to shoot this film? You
Well,
shot
it
after.
wasn't. No, it wasn't any problem. It wasn't a problem for me or neither for Surbhi to shoot this film because I've been filming there for the last 25 years.
Yeah, can you
So
mention some of your films which you have made before?
well, I have done talk shows there on social issues as a freelancer for Doordarshan, and we had a like channel, Kashmiri channel, Kashmir channel we call that. That was run from Delhi. I
Okay.
worked for that as a freelancer.
Okay.
Once I did my masters there from Kashmir University, and I made films on like earlier. My films were like they were still like films on social issues. I made a film on euthanasia, the mercy killing.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, and I made films on child labor, drug addiction, and I'm interested in sports also. I made a couple of films, or maybe 5, 6 films on adventure sports, skiing. I'm a skier myself, so I did some films on water sports because earlier in my school and college days I was involved in sports. So then I started with talk shows and making films on sports and
Yeah.
then social issues.
Yeah, so you were also a journalist. So can you talk about how the situation of other journalists are right now?
Well, right now I'm not a journalist. Right now, I started long back, and well, the journalists can speak for themselves. I cannot speak for them right now
I mean,
because I'm
are
I'm not
they?
an active journalist right now because I work in a university right now.
Yeah.
To be frank, yeah, I work in a university right now. I have a job there. So it's a film related job only. I
So
don't
are
teach there.
people really comfortable making films? Are youngsters making films in Kashmir right now?
People are making films. People are making definitely they are making films. Whether they are being seen by people, that's another thing. But people definitely because these days filmmaking is has become bit easier than it used to be like 15 or 20 years back. You needed to have a big camera crew and stuff, and then you had to do the post. But right now it's easier. But I see a lot of young guys moving around on a. They have a mobile phone on their gimbal and shooting stuff. You'd see everywhere in Srinagar. You would
Okay.
see our young guys making travelogues kind of things, or they making some films also. All sorts of films. You would see people like young boys as well as girls shooting around, filming around.
Has the situation kind of changed in any way after the abrogation of 370?
If you ask me, I don't see any change in my life. I don't see things changed for me. I can't speak for others, but nothing changed for me. Nothing changed for me, nothing changed for my family. So maybe it might have some longer repercussions in the long run, some repercussions in the long run, but it, well, there are two narratives that some would say that life changed for better. Others narrative is that things will are not so promising right now. But for me, honestly, nothing changed for me.
Life goes on after all.
Life,
So, yeah.
life moves on. Yeah,
Yes.
life moves on.
So why did you choose to make films on the transgender community in Kashmir?
Surbhi and me, we were like planning to do a project together for like 1 year. So I didn't know what subject I should take with Surbhi because I know Surbhi for a decade now, more than a decade now. So Once I was helping a journalist friend there who was the editor of a leading newspaper local. I was helping him because of the COVID thing happened and there were a lot of like shutdowns. What I found a girl reporter, a young, maybe she just was an intern there first, then they took her as a reporter. Every alternate day, she would file a story on transgender community.
Okay,
Because
okay.
somebody, I didn't know the Ajazband, the guy who is in the firm, the
Yeah,
activist,
yeah.
he had filed a case in the High Court there. So
Regarding?
regarding to ensure the education of the transgender women there, their job security and some pension if they can get. So and she kept on filing these stories. So I read those stories. In my college and school days, I had seen like even my friends or people around like mocking the transgender women on roads just for fun sake. Nothing criminal in that. I knew it that time only, but
Yeah, people
some
actually
people,
bully
bully,
without
yeah,
knowing it. Yeah.
bullying is the better word. Yeah, you said it right. Bullying is there. Yeah, bullying. So that was at the back of my mind somewhere. So these stories just prompted me. So because Surbhi and we were talking about doing something together, some project.
Okay.
So I knew her inclination towards gender justice. So I just called her and said, what do you say about this topic? She readily came on board. Yeah, she was ready for this. Then it took for some time to do the research and stuff. And it's very interesting how I started the research because I'm a local guy there. I live there. So I thought I will just approach the transgender woman and she will start telling me everything so that I have something to begin with for filming. But like it wasn't easy, they would not talk to a man there. They wouldn't talk unless they know the person. He is their neighbor or he is their relative. So मैंने कहा I thought ये क्या हो गया, ये भी यहीं रह रहे हैं, मैं भी यहीं रह रहा हूँ, and we were talking in our mother tongue. But it didn't happen. I got into like embarrassing situations couple
But
of
that
times.
happens everywhere.
That happens everywhere.
Yeah.
Then I called Surbhi. I said I
For any
approached the-
community, actually, if we
Okay.
are working with, if we are not from the community, any community would take time.
Well, that time I thought we were from the same community because we were all like
Kashmiris,
Kashmiri
yeah.
speaking.
Yeah, that's
So you know what I mean. मैं
Yeah,
तो
okay.
उस time I didn't think कि this is some community, but
right.
maybe the
I
thing
get it.
was, yeah, maybe the thing was because of that thing what I said, they were being bullied. Yeah, maybe they thought he's approaching us to bully or something. Then I did manage reaching out to them. Then I saw who is living there. Is there any friend who lives there in their neighborhood who can talk to them? Then I found few guys who were their neighbors. Then through them I got in touch with them, and through then I talked to Ajazband. Ajazband, even he was not easy to approach. He just kept on like not attending the calls, not responding to messages. Ultimately, we had a meeting in the open area. I don't know. He thought maybe I don't know who is this guy who's trying to like approach me and talk about this. Then he chose a park.
It takes time to open up. Actually.
Exactly. Then he chose a park to for the
Open
meeting
space.
point. Yeah, open space. Then I went there. Then he got convinced. So that's how it began.
So
Excuse me. Yeah.
yeah, so I kind of work with trans people here.
Okay.
But but we have no idea about how even trans persons here, I'm sure, because we do not have any idea about Kashmir actually. We read books, we watch news, but we do not know, we know very little about Kashmir in general to begin with. So thank you for making the film, I should say. It was a very brave and a difficult film to make. Thank you for making
Yeah,
it.
I'm happy you liked it.
Everybody
Yeah,
loved
everybody.
it. It was
Yeah, I got a good
one of
feedback
the
from.
first
Yeah.
films we selected, so we
Okay.
all loved
Okay,
it. Of
thank
course,
you.
we loved it. Yeah, so we do a lot of things online, right? So communications when we're talking to someone, business, everything, a lot of things
Yeah, I understand.
are
Yeah.
online. So
Yeah, I
how would people
understand.
manage without internet? I mean, that's a very
Well, internet is running right now.
when
Internet
it
is
was not
when it
there.
was, yeah, when it was snapped, like sometimes in 2019 maybe. So if you don't have internet, you don't have internet. You cannot help it. You cannot go on like performing your routine work.
So how was life like without doing any of it? I
Well,
mean,
you sit home and maybe if television is running, you watch television, and if you can play around, you play around. It's like people adapt then like
it
to the
affected
circumstances.
it affected relationships as well, right?
Well, if everybody is staying at home, like you mean say in the home, the relationships at the home,
At communicating with friends, lovers. I mean,
definitely it will affect and it will breed frustration when you are not able to speak to the person you want to. Yeah, yeah. But nowadays it's the internet and 4G and all these things. It's back to normal.
yeah, but education has also been affected, right?
At that time,
Yeah,
yeah,
yeah. Now everything is normal.
everything
I
is
mean, normal between
everything is
quotes.
yeah, everything is working.
So, how was
Education
education?
was also like affected in COVID times.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, right. Talking about your film, you have made a film on the transgender community in
Yeah.
Kashmir. So, how different do you think the trans community in Kashmir is from other
Well,
states of
as
India?
they have interaction with the community around their, they call them their brotherly, like
Yeah,
yeah,
brotherhood kind
yeah,
of a
yeah.
thing. Yeah.
So they say that we live bit differently from the community that they go to Punjab, they go to Delhi,
Okay,
or maybe
okay,
they come to Calcutta also, and they
okay.
have like when the transgender women come visit Kashmir from here, they stay in their houses,
Okay,
and
so there's
when
a
they
connection
come,
between, okay,
there's a
within the community
big
there is.
connection. And earlier they said this connection was like more with the South Asian community.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, now outside
Okay.
India, now it's with the Punjab. They will call this belt as Punjab, North India, all the Delhi, UP. So they would say they have a deep connection with the community there. They say we are different from them in the sense this is what they feel that we had some kind of employment here. We would do matchmaking and we
Yeah.
will earn our livelihood. We will go and perform at weddings and sing and dance there. So they would make their living out of that. But nowadays they say nowadays they don't have this job because the guys and girls, that's what they say, they are like doing it themselves. So, and nobody calls them for singing and performing at weddings because during these COVID times and earlier times, the marriages were like really low key. So
Right.
yeah, because of the circumstances. So once it's low key, you don't have all those guests
Right.
coming, so you don't need anybody
Right,
to.
understand. It affected actually
It
all the
affected
like
everything. Yeah.
photographers,
So their
everyone. Yeah.
livelihood is kind of at risk right now. So they kind of feel that they should have some job security, and they are ready. Like they are ready to work in hospitals or in this what do you call hospitality sector. That's what they say that they want to work in hospitals and they are also fighting for some pension. Government should give them some pension, but for that it's again unfortunate. Like they have to first produce a certificate that the person is a transgender. They feel that very humiliating. It
Yeah,
should,
that
yeah,
thing came with the trans bill.
yeah, okay. That
Yeah.
came with the trans bill.
Yeah, where they're giving basically your proof that you're a trans person, so that
Okay.
yeah.
Okay, but the thing is, like, we also talked to the doctor there that didn't make to the cut in the film. He also said that if a person feels that he is a trans or she is a trans, she is a trans, you got to believe it. There's no like medical test and you can
No, no,
go.
no. That is why this bill was actually rejected and
Oh, it was
protested.
rejected.
Protested. No, no, it was protested all
But
over India.
But it was passed.
Like all
Like
bills
all
do
bills,
nowadays.
yeah, like all bills.
Yeah. So this matchmaking profession is not there anywhere else in India. So can you talk a little bit about that? How that kind of came up in Kashmir?
Well, it has been there. मेरे को जहाँ तक याद है ये तो वहाँ पे मैच मेकिंग करते थे. It's not only the transgender trans women do the matchmaking, men also do the matchmaking, but usually you would see the trans women doing the matchmaking. The reason they said, I asked the transgender, one of the transgender women, the reason they said that we are trans women, so we feel the women folk who are at the home in the day when the men go out for working, it's easier for them to have a conversation with us rather than the men going into the house. Maybe the women, they hesitate to talk to them or they don't let them into the house, so it's easier for them to have a conversation with the
women. Are not there in this profession. I mean,
yeah, I have seen women also in this profession. Yeah, I have seen women,
I mean,
men, and like they do other stuff also, other job also, and they do the matchmaking also. But for the transgender woman, is the only job, and the other job is this.
Yeah.
Performing at the weddings.
Yeah, but elsewhere in his
No, I
communities
don't
also
think so.
there's challa and badhai, but that is also not a very prevalent thing in Kashmir, right?
No, they don't go for badhai.
Yeah.
If you remember one of the Bablu, she says
one of the characters.
one of the characters that अगर वो बधाई के लिए जाएंगे, people will start saying कि have you started begging? That's exactly what he said. Now I haven't seen there is begging in Kashmir, like people beg, old men or women they beg, but I haven't seen any trans women begging in Kashmir. Also, why I'm saying only trans women, because I haven't come across a trans man there. Right. Because when I did some initial research on that the activist told me they don't come out openly. You won't find them. There are, but you won't find them because they don't come out openly.
Trans men like all over the world are less visible.
Less visible than the trans women.
Yeah, so that's a problem. We can make another film on that, maybe.
Yeah, sure.
Okay, it's the next project, and we can again screen that film.
You know, once I came here, I met a journalism student from Colombia. She lives in Delhi. She's writing paper on trans men. Okay. So in Kashmir.
In Kashmir. Okay. Kashmir, can we know the name of?
Yeah. Sure. I can. You want it right now?
Oh.
Yeah, I have her number.
Okay.
But I can't recall her name right now.
Fine. So there has been some work.
Going on. No. What I meant to say is, she said she only found one person, the one case in the whole of Kashmir so far, where like one trans man, and who also lives outside, who doesn't live in Kashmir right now, who lives outside Kashmir. So it was also difficult.
Who has come out actually? I would say.
Not openly. Not openly. But she knew about that. This
through a friend or something. I mean, there are other trans men, trans masculine identified persons, I would say, but they are not open.
They don't come
or visible to people. Yeah, that's true. To know more about the film, please watch Trans Kashmir by S.A. Hanan and Surbhi Dewan. If you really want to screen it somewhere else, you can invite us to screen Trans Kashmir. We would love to bring this film to you. Thank you so much.
Thank you.